Welcome back, all you Fabricants and Fleshbags, to the not funny show, Supercast. The Supercast, where we talk about all things superhero and pop culture, and that's, of course, TV shows, movies, video games. We talk about the news, and we do some speculation, all that good nerdy stuff. I am Ode Poupée, your resident fabricant and comic extraordinaire on all things pop culture, joined by the anime expert, video game designer, and lover of all things superhero, my good friend Lottie. Lottie, what's going on, man?
Nothing much, man. I'm doing good. Sorry I've been away. Life
Yeah.
just happened.
How dare life intrude on nerd stuff? Uh, Speaking of Lottie, what nerdy stuff you been up to since last we heard from you? Watched anything new? Played anything?
Well, this isn't maybe nerdy related, but yeah, I watched Woman King. Absolute master class of a movie, by the way. I cannot I cannot like state how much fun I had watching that movie.
You went and watched it, even though people are boycott it.
And these same people, man. Next, it's like one guy I heard on YouTube said the next time there's no homosexual activities happening in 300, boycott the movie. You know what I mean? Like because they're not being true to history. Get there. Hey, come
Well,
on, people. Y'all just want to be
I
mad about
look.
something.
I'm gonna go see it probably this weekend, but we'll talk about it. I think we might end up going ahead and reviewing that. But yeah, I think I've just been drooling over this Street Fighter 6 stuff that they've been dropping recently, and trying to figure out how the hell to pay for computer upgrades you've recommended. I'm scrub as fuck at fighting games, but I love Street Fighter. So somehow or another, I'm gonna invest something like $800 into playing this game. So thanks a lot, Capcom. Appreciate it.
$800. Oh, we can do a lot better than what I
Oh,
was telling you to.
that's no. I'm sorry. That's the upgrades for my computer, plus the cost of the game at launch, plus the DLC over the life of the game.
Oh, okay.
Because you know that you don't. That's the problem with being a video game player nowadays. You can't just buy a game. You got to buy a game for $60 or $70, and then buy all of the rest of the game over the next few years. So,
Oh yeah.
yay! Thanks. Microtransactions aren't so micro anymore. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. We are here to talk about superhero stuff. And as usual, we have a list of news items to talk about because things are popping in the world of superhero media. So, among other things, we're going to talk about DC League of Super Pets, a movie which I enjoyed greatly, coming to streaming soon. Very soon, actually, much sooner than we expected. Uh, Speaking of unexpected, a movie that I never thought would get a sequel from like 17 years ago, starring Keanu Reeves, is now in development over at Warner Brothers. There are delays on the Sony Spider slate for a couple movies. We're going to talk about those. And what is going on with WB Discovery? And is this David Zaslav, is he looking to flip WB? DC is apparently having some kind of trouble with their whole get a Kevin Feige plan. No, big surprise there. Something going on with the Black Panther's release in France. Maybe people in France may not be watching it on the big screen. And unfortunately, it's a common thread around here. A common theme is more Ezra Miller bullshit. So we're going to cover all of that stuff on the Supercast, episode 69. Going episode 69.
Nice.
Yeah. Yes, today. So, Lottie, this is
Hell yeah.
what do you say, like Kite Man? Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Let's get into this. This is a real quick one. We don't have to talk about it much, but I love DC League of Super Pets. Uh, Fight Me. It's a great movie. It's a great superhero movie. It's a great all ages movie. Whatever. If you haven't seen it, don't come at me. But you know what? Fortunately, if you haven't seen it, you're gonna get to see it real soon, as in next week soon, because apparently on the 26th of September it will be on HBO Max to stream. Lottie, I'm assuming you're watching this day one as soon as it's available.
What day is it? What day is it going to be
The
available again?
26th. I,
The
I want to say
26th.
that's a Wednesday, but it might be a Monday. It's a Monday apparently.
Oh, if it's Monday, I ain't got nothing to do. I'll watch it.
Hit it up. Like I'm gonna like I said, it's in my review. If y'all go check that out, it's like legitimately way better of a Justice League movie, but also just a comedy as a superhero thing. The Rock and Kevin Hart are great in it. You get Keanu Reeves as Batman. He's hilarious in the little bit you see, and there's some actually good, comic book superhero action in it. That so if you like stuff like The Incredibles, there's absolutely something there for you. So um, that I just wanted to throw that out there because I love the movie and it's coming out soon. So you guys go check that out on the 26th next Monday and report back how you feel about it. Again, something unexpected. Like we've been hearing all this stuff over it. Man, dude, we've been here at WB. They just cutting and cutting and cutting. We don't get anything new from them. We're just getting, things getting canceled. But apparently, because reasons, they are going forward with a Constantine 2 starring Keanu Reeves, a sequel all these years later to that movie. Because I guess apparently they feel like there was more story there. Of course, there's always more story because there's comics. There's more story there, and because Keanu Reeves is a big name right now. Lottie, is this something? First of all, were you expecting anything like this? And second of all, is this something you want?
Never got to see the first Constantine, so honestly, I am not sure. Uh, I'm happy to see that this is coming back. Like I said, I've never seen the first Constantine, but I would love to see it. I would love to go and watch it because now that I know it's making a sequel, that's crazy that that's something that seems dead that can come back. Hit monkey. You know, honestly, that's one of the few you know, cool things that we could say about what's going on. That something that we never thought we'll actually get a sequel is coming back, and Keanu Reeves could be more than just being pissed off about his dead dog.
John Wick Constantine. You know what? I'm gonna be honest. This actually is somewhat of a worrying thing to me. In this sense, look at what they're doing at WB Discovery. Are they
hmm
are they swinging for the fence on anything? Are they are they trying anything bold? Are they looking at their IP and saying we're gonna take a risk here? This is the most unrisky decision to make a sequel to something, to make a sequel way after the fact, because right now it seems to be fashionable to find something 20, 15, 20, 30 years old and make a
You do
sequel
have a point
and
there.
make a sequel to something that, either it didn't have a sequel or was ignored the other sequels that other people didn't like. And also, again, how much risk is this really? Keanu Reeves' name is attached to it, right? So you automatically got his name bringing in, butts to the seats. I just feel like that this is actually a worrying sign about there among many other worrying signs about what WB Discovery is up to, which is doing a lot of, I don't even want to call it safe, really kind of bitch ass moves, showing that they don't have the nuts to try anything new. It's also worrying in the sense that they're doubling down on, not more diversity, less diversity. So I mean, other people that really want to see this. First of all, the first Constantine, it was fine. I didn't know shit about the character when I saw it. I thought it was fine. It was very much in line with similar supernatural sorts of Blade and stuff like that, sorts of things at the time. It was fine, but I haven't watched it in years, so that tells you how much I think about it. It's fine. This to me does not sound like the creators that are making decisions. I mean, I'm sure someone got a script or whatever, and there's a director, and they, yeah, I get that. But they're going with something that's already been done, rather than something that hasn't been done. And that's to me, that's not a good sign of the leadership over there. But they've been doing a lot of things that aren't good signs to me. So I'm very lukewarm on this. Even as much as I like Keanu Reeves, I'm very lukewarm on this. And I don't know. I could be wrong. Maybe this will be great, but it remains to be seen. I feel like Lottie. I mean, you don't have to agree with me, but I feel like I feel very. I guess what's the opposite of optimistic? Unoptimistic about what WB is going to do with DC. I've got a bad feeling about it. So
Well, there's a few things that I do want to say of WB. So I just finished watching uh Primal. If you don't, I swear, if you do not give me a season 3, I'll find your house and punch you in the face. I want a season 3 to Primal.
Well, is it a big IP, and like is it animation? If it's if,
Yes.
is it animation, and is it a big IP?
Yes and yes.
No, it's not a big IP. You know how I know it's not a big IP? Because I haven't heard them talking about it. Dude, I'm just saying, don't get your hopes up about this one. Just don't.
Don't hurt my feelings,
just
Reese.
like just be prepared. Be prepared. Just
Don't hurt my feelings.
saying. So anyway, we'll see. We're gonna talk about WB a little bit more in a couple segments. All right, let's talk about Sony real briefly. Lottie, I know you are super excited about Craven the Hunter and Madam Web. That's all you've been talking about for the last ever since they got announced. But I want to break the news gently to you that they're not going to come out when they said they're going to come out. They've been delayed, in fact, up to it. And in fact, as far as I can tell, something like 8 months each. Madam Web as Craven's moved from January 13th of 2023. Now it's going to be coming out on October 6th of 2023. And Madam Web, instead of October 6th of 2023, is going to be on February 16th, 2024. So a significant delay. The question is why, and is it? Well, I say we don't know if it's good or not. Is this a good sign? Is this a sign of bad things, good things, or what? Or it's just a sign that hey, they need more time. I don't know, Lottie. In your mind, how do you see that?
How can I say this? I'm sort of getting to the point when it comes to me consuming media. It'll just come out when it comes out, man. I'm almost at the point that I'm like, I don't even get upset if my favorite video game gets delayed. You know what I mean? Because I'm just like, it'll come out when it's ready.
And you have
You know
other
what I
things.
mean?
You have other things to do, right?
Yeah, exactly. So it's like this movie, hey, if they gotta delay it, hey, I'm sort of like, take as much time as you want. You don't have to force it to come out. You know what I mean? I'm not, like I said, I'm at that part of my life that I'm not craving the hunter being delayed is not going to destroy my life.
Yeah, that I know. I feel you on that. Like, none of this stuff is like high stakes or anything. I really want to see both of these movies. I mean, I do. I'm hoping they're going to be good, and I'm hoping that the delay means that they, are going to tighten up whatever. They're both in the midst of filming right now. But I have a feeling this isn't to do with script or, nothing to do with story, characters, whatever, because they're moving right along with filming. I've heard people talk about this, that this could be due to VFX and the fact that so many VFX heavy movies are coming out now, right?
That damn mouse.
There's so many VFX heavy movies are coming out right now that they are in fact backed up. Like the pipeline is backed up right now. And this is due to the fact that there aren't as many VFX houses as there aren't enough to do what all these movies need. And so, you have Craven, maybe not so much, but Madam Web definitely is going to have a lot of VFX just because of spider people in it. That could be the reason why they need that extra time to get caught up and everything to get their VFX. I choose to look at this as a good thing that they have the time they need to make things happen. Also, how high stakes could this be? Like, really? Like, is no one's waiting on, this isn't like it's, Spider-Man 4 or something like that. The stakes are fairly low for this. And also, they just had Morbius come out, which I contend and I defend that movie. I still think it's good, but a lot of people didn't think that. So, maybe it's time for them to take their time and make sure they don't have another Morbius on their hands. I'm just saying. We shall see. I think we'll find out a lot more. We got over a year. In fact, in one case, we got something like 15 months until one of them comes out. So we got plenty of time to talk about this and find out what's going on. So we'll let you guys know when we find out more. So let's talk about Black Panther real quick. This is just something I found out today. Did you see that they were talking about that may not release theatrically in France? Like for real.
I didn't see that.
It's there's a good reason for it. And I wasn't aware of this because, I'm not French. I don't eat baguettes and sip wine and wear berets.
Oh my goodness.
Because I'm an American.
My goodness.
Ate freedom fries, not. Sorry, that's just showing my age, y'all. Anyway, no. So what's going on here is there's a law. Apparently, there's a law in France that prevents things coming out theatrically if they are going to come to streaming before 17 months. I think that I read that correctly. Basically, because they want to protect over-the-air broadcasting by allowing them to have access to first-run movies or whatever before the streamers do. And so this, like I said, to essentially protect their broadcasters. And so I didn't know this, but apparently Disney has not put their recent movies onto streaming and on Disney Plus in France.
Does not surprise me. Does not surprise me. Disney. Listen, let me tell you something about Disney. Did you know, real quick? Did you know that Disney won the bidding war for Bleach, the show on Disney Plus?
Really?
And then subsequently lost it because they wanted to region lock it. And Sony got the IP back for a lesser price because they wanted the American audience to wait a whole year after Japan watches Bleach.
Which is dumb because people just go on the internet.
Exactly. You're just asking people to pirate your freaking...
Well, but in this case, this isn't them trying to do that at all. This is the French government saying, if you're going to put a movie into the theater here, you can't put it onto a streaming service for almost 2 years, I'm sorry, a year and a half. Well, wait, am I saying 17 months? So that's, almost a year and a half, which is ridiculous because the whole point of streaming services is that it entices people to come to the streaming service to see something that they maybe missed or didn't want to go to the theater to see, right? That's
Yeah, that's a crazy law for a country that's supposed to be socialist. If you think about it,
Well, I mean, it makes sense. They're essentially like any business.
protecting the movie theater business is what they're
Well, yeah,
protecting.
they're protecting the theater, but they're protecting the broadcasters there. They want to protect their TV broadcasters. It makes sense to me. Like if they are just essentially setting up a situation so that streamers can't steal, quote steal, viewers from their TV producers or their TV channels, who would normally, in the old school method, would be the ones showing the movies. I get it, but this
Hmm.
essentially is going down to now that Black Panther they have to make a choice. Do they want it to be on streaming in France, or do they want it to be in theaters in France? It's one or the other. They're not going to get both. And the idea now is that they're thinking about just not letting it release theatrically in in France. Now, Lottie, what do you think Moneybag Mickey thinks about not putting it in theaters in France?
I mean, okay, here's the thing: how did Black Panther one do in France in theaters?
Let's just assume, like, I don't know the numbers, but let me just say, $0 is less than whatever the hell they're gonna get if they put it in theaters over there, right?
Hmm.
So is it worth losing all that good, you know, Black Panther money out of the theaters just so you can put it on streaming in France? I think the answer is obvious, but
And
may,
I mean, in my opinion, it would be stupid to do that, but maybe, maybe Black Panther didn't do well in theaters. The first one didn't do well in theaters in France, and they probably spent a lot of money advertising in France, and it didn't do well. So they're just like saying, "Okay, we just might as well just put it on streaming service."
so
But like I said, I don't know. I don't know.
so you're
You
saying the
know,
French are film snobs and they were put their nose up at Black Panther because it's a comic book movie? Probably,
maybe
probably not.
they didn't see any baguettes or snails in it or
No, no
escargot.
escargot.
So they probably said, "Oh,
None.
this is a terrible movie." Oh.
Oh my gosh! I'm just picturing Ratatouille. Anyway, anyway, well, we'll see. I think they're gonna end up putting it in theaters because I mean money, right? But we'll see.
Hmm.
Uh, French people, I feel sorry for you. No, we'll tell you what it was like. Moving on to our next one. Two things about DC right now. Actually, we got three things about DC. We're going to talk about what's the ultimate plan for WB. Uh, what's David Zaslav up to? There's a report. I'm not even going to paraphrase it. I'm just going to try to, sort of summarize it real quick. Essentially, that the whole plan for Discovery buying Warner Brothers was always to get in there, slash a bunch of shit, cut a bunch of shit to make it look more profitable and attractive, turn around and sell it to Comcast, Universal, or somebody else to sell it off essentially. But Comcast Universal seems to be the prime candidate here. They probably because they got the money. That was the whole point of the merger to essentially, like on Discovery Channel, flip this house, make some money off of it in the meantime. And Lottie, I have to say this actually makes a lot of things that's happening over at WB Discovery make a little more sense. If you have if you move into a house and your only goal is to turn it around and sell it for more than what you paid for it, do you give a fuck about the long-term structural integrity of that house? Do you care about termites? Do you care about you know how it's weatherizing it? Do you care about anything that's gonna matter when you're no longer living in that house? And so you see all
No.
this shit that's going on, the cutting, and investing in whatever movies they are actually green lighting or just like safe bet shit. It seems to me like this makes that all make sense. I don't
Yeah.
know. Am I seeing that right?
I mean, it makes sense. I mean, sell it to DirecTV's competition because that's who owned it, AT&T DirecTV. So now you're going to sell it to Comcast. So we're going to start. Oh my God.
And what? And
Batman on
yeah.
Peacock.
Well, I just want to note. Well, first of all, they're already doing that. That's the thing is like no one's really talking too much about this, but WB Discovery is essentially saying, "Now we're open to taking our IP and letting it go to other places," which is
Yeah.
which is fucking nuts to me. What the hell's the point of HBO Max? If you're gonna let someone else have Batman, if you're gonna let somebody else have Titans, if you're gonna let somebody else, have they've got a ton of like HBO stuff. You're gonna let other people have that? I like it's nuts to me. Except if you don't plan to still be living in that house in a couple years. If you plan to be out of that house with a wad of cash in your back pocket after you sell that house, and Comcast, hell, they'd be fucking happy about this because Peacock, which I contend is a really good service actually. If you don't use Peacock, you just don't understand. It's actually got a ton of good stuff. It's a good service, but it ain't no HBO Max, right? So they get an HBO Max with all this stuff that's on HBO that they can throw all their NBC stuff onto. It makes sense for them, but does it make sense for us as the consumer? As
Hmm.
people who love superhero stuff, look, this is the Supercast. We only give a fuck about the DC stuff, right? That's all we care about, right? All right, and as
Yeah.
nerds, maybe we care about some other stuff too, but let's just talk about the DC stuff. I don't see how this is a good thing for DC. Like,
No.
like on the real, if it's a short-term ownership and sale thing, then that means that the people at Discovery at WB Discovery, who were formerly of WB, they get to go through 2 regime changes, 2 sets of layoffs, 2 mergers. You know what I'm saying? Like,
This even affects what's it called too? The video game industry. You know why?
because doesn't Universal have a video game section
Yeah.
but WB
One
Games
of the
too?
biggest one of the biggest video game franchises of all time. Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, but so you have Universal has a games division, Warner Brothers has a game division. There's going to be layoff. I don't see if you're a creator, is this good for you too? Do you want to, sign contracts with a company that remember Zaslav came in and cut shit that people had already contractually started or were in the process of working on. I've literally heard about people that worked on a show and they're like, it's not even going to come out because they decided to save money. Who the fuck wants to jump into that to bed with that? That's from a business perspective. As people who want to see more DC stuff, what I said earlier, this idea that they're going to do Constantine again, no, a part 2, to me indicates that they're not trying to swing for it. They're not even trying to swing to hit triples. They're trying to bunt. They're just trying to move the fucking ball along. Get some people on base, but they're not really trying to like go hard. They're not trying to make shit that's gonna blow our minds. That's this shit. Like it makes sense to me, but also like this just a lot of people were like scared that the Fox Disney merger was gonna be bad for us as consumers. And there's an argument that can be made that like, yeah, some shit maybe hasn't come out, and it may take forever for us to get X-Men, but we are gonna fucking get it. With this, I have no idea what DC's gonna do because every other day it just seems like something's gonna get cut, or in favor of some other bullshit that they've done before. How many fucking Batman do they need to make?
Yeah.
I don't like to get heated about this, but god damn it, like I want DC to win, and I don't see how you can win when you got leadership like this. Which actually leads me into the next part I wanted to talk about, which is that DC's having trouble following through on their whole Kevin Feige plan. Remember, they were like, ooh, we got a plan. We got a 10-year plan, y'all. We're going to get a Kevin Feige, and we're going to replicate what Marvel does. Which is, damn, that's easy to say. It's so fucking easy to say, we're going to get a Kevin Feige. Except, where the hell you going to get a Kevin Feige? When they made this plan, did they think like, man, there's got to be, Kevin Feige is great, there's got to be another one of him in Hollywood. Where the fuck is he? Did they never, Lottie, help me out here. Did they never ask the question, if it was so easy to replicate what Marvel does, why isn't it working at Sony? Why didn't it work at DC before? Right? If it's so, if you can get a Kevin Feige and just slot him in there and make shit work, why hasn't it worked except at Marvel?
It's hard to find.
These people get
like
paid
that.
millions of dollars, and they're proposing bullshit, which is what it is. It's bullshit. Yes, that's essentially saying, you know what? How we could how America could definitely win the World Cup this year? We should just get a bunch of Maradonas. Or we need a Cristiano Ronaldo. That's great. Where the fuck is he? If there was a Cristiano Ronaldo in America, where he would be on the fucking team right now. That's, it's. I feel like my blood pressure's getting up because they're fucking idiots over at W. And they get paid millions of dollars for this, to make these big proclamations of shit random people on the internet have been saying for years. Y'all need to get a Kevin Feige. No shit. Where the fuck is he? You know where he is?
Yep.
He's at Marvel. That's where he is.
Yeah. Yeah. It's not easy to find.
Let me calm down. Let me take a sip of water. Because, Jesus Christ. Like, I can't believe these people are gutting WB. They're gutting DC right now. They're cutting at least people trying to do something interesting. They are stomping that shit out in favor of doing the same bullshit they were doing before, and they're going to get just as far because they are chasing after motherfucking Marvel, and they have their plan is bullshit. What fucking plan is that? Find a guy that can do what Kevin Feige can do? How about y'all just you know what Kevin Feige does? He's a smart man, and he's smart enough to get a bunch of other people underneath him that are just as on the ball. It's not just him. The fuck can't y'all understand this? Y'all don't need one dude. Y'all need a group of people that can work together. But no, you got Matt Reeves doing his thing. You got fucking J.J. Abrams maybe doing his fucking thing. You got animation doing separate. You got all these people they're pulling in every fucking direction. And you want somebody to come herd those fucking cats. I mean, y'all got the whole fucking thing wrong. You see the success of Marvel, right? Y'all see the success of Marvel, and you want those dollars, but you don't want to fucking do the work to get there. You want Michael Jordan numbers, but you don't want to do all the work to get Michael Jordan numbers. And that's why y'all are going to fail. That's why you're going to fuck up, because you're all looking at it all wrong. And also, you're short-sighted because you want to flip the fucking company and send it to Comcast. Yeah, so you're not even trying to build anything. It's infuriating. I don't know why I'm so mad about this, but I just am. The more I think about it, it just pisses me off. Because I know we're going to have a decade of more bullshit when I want good DC stuff. Anyway, I'm going to shut up. Lottie, what you got? What have you got there?
I mean, man, it's this is big business, man. It's big business. This is how these companies do. They buy things just to own it or sell it or hold on to it. It's just one of the things is we as consumer we just got to sit back and just. This is why I hate consolidation. One of the things. This is why like I didn't like in gaming I didn't like when Microsoft bought Activision because you know you're already seeing it. Microsoft is already they bought Activision just for Call of Duty, and they're going to destroy some of the franchises that Activision owns that I like. Like we're probably not going to get another Tony Hawk Pro Skater game because that's not in Microsoft's identity or plan. You know what I mean? So it's just like it just happens. It's unfortunate. Eventually, we'll come around a place where these companies will begin to break up. Like, I don't think Disney's going to own Marvel forever. Like, some people say they're going to hold on to it forever. No, eventually, Marvel will not be as profitable to Disney as they think it is, and they'll sell it to somebody, and that will be good. It's the same thing with DC. It will not be under Discovery or whoever it is. It's going to be under somebody who actually does care and want to start building this stuff up. You know what I mean? It's just we're in the consolidation era where everybody's buying. People just want to buy stuff instead of just them making it their own. Instead of them using their dollars to make a good movie, they just buy the whole entire movie franchise. You know what I mean? They're just like, hey, let's make a good this, but they think they can just get away with it using money. It's been like I said, it's something that it's every form of media is going through this. Only one I think that hasn't is the anime community, but video game community is definitely going through this, and it kind of infuriates me. And to see it like I said, this thing is not just going to affect movies. This is video games as well. Like like you see, what is that movie? Arkham, the big DC Batman video game that's coming out soon. I forgot what it's called. With all the different
Oh,
Batman
that
people.
yeah, I know it. Arkham Knights,
Yeah, well, Gotham Knights.
Gotham
Gotham Knights.
Knights.
It's
Excuse me. Yeah.
it's that's going to like the game is pretty much done, but the future of that game is murky because they're probably thinking that they're going to support this game for the next 5 to 6 years. We don't know that's going to actually happen. You know
Hmm.
what I mean? They might be only guaranteed 2 years of that game. You know what I mean? It's like I said, this is not just the movie industry. This is affecting the video game industry as well. This is something that can really shake up the thing. But like I said, this is how big companies do it, man. It's sad and unfortunate, man. It's just sad and
Yeah,
unfortunate.
yeah. This this big super plan that they've got that it's essentially you know let's find a unicorn and then drink its blood and that'll get us everywhere. Like it really worked for Voldemort too, y'all. Get out of here. Anyway, I don't want to get back into being mad about that. So that's our our thoughts on that. You guys, I don't know. If we get more information about that, we'll let you know. But let us know what you think about it down in the comments section. And finally, I'm going to be less mad about this, oddly enough, than I was about that. Um, it's time for yet another edition of the fuck is Ezra Miller doing? And that is it's this basically a Vanity Fair article, an investigative report, I guess you will, came out. I didn't really get to read it because I was locked out of it because it wasn't free and like I'm not paying for Vanity Fair. Sorry. I finally did sort of start seeing some of the stuff about it. It's not good. It's very it's been a long time since we've seen anything that said Ezra Miller that was good. So let's just say, remember they were talking about, oh, he was grooming some girl or whatever, and I guess she's 18 now, but he's known her since she was 12. um, there's all sorts of allegations about and I will talk about the grooming thing in a second. I just want to get all this stuff out. The that he's got some kind of like messiah complex or something like that, and he thinks that he's destined to like there's some supernatural predestination shit regarding him and this girl, and like an upright.
Jesus.
Well, just yeah, it's and also that um all these other allegations are, they've been denied by his agent or whatever, but essentially that, you know, his, I don't want, maybe it's a God complex or or sorry, I keep saying they have some kind of God complex. And this is all allegations. It's not, anything that they've said straight out or whatever. So the grooming is apparently, this has been, it was alleged by the parents of this girl, who is again a grown up right now, but that essentially that their god complex is such that the idea was that they're they're fated or something like that to kind of come together and then lead
Huh.
some kind of indigenous uprising or something like that. This has been by the way, this has been denied by the young lady, so I'm not. Let's be fair and say that she has denied that this is what's going on. But the point is not just that Ezra Miller's got some, some emotional and whatever problems go, but also allegedly they've got some. Let's just say some grand delusions, and they maybe contribute to some of the not good stuff that's been going on. Trying to be real circumspect here. The point here being, why does that matter to any of us? I mean, obviously everyone's like, man, that's messed up or whatever. But what beyond that? What does that? How what does that mean for Flash? What should DC even be bothered with it anymore? Um, and a lot of I will understand if you are not completely up to date on this. I'm barely up to date on it, but we do have to talk about it.
Listen, I was laughing not to be insensitive. I'm laughing because like it seems every time I hear something about this guy, it just it blows what happened, like the stuff I heard out of the water prior. And it's just I just I
The
mean
whole Messiah complex thing it's just weird because they really are like, eh, you know, comparing the way Flash is sort of Jesus like according to them, but really kind of buying their own hype and then maybe sincerely believing that there are some sort of spiritual revelation that relates to this young lady. And
does he think she's the reincarnation of Mary or something?
well,
I'm sorry.
that's
I'll
the
let
thing
it go.
is,
I just my bad.
well, I mean, who knows? That's the thing is, I don't know. To be fair to them and to anybody else who has, God complexes or delusions or whatever, there's an awful lot of people that believe an awful lot of things that they can't prove, but they're convinced like that, God's telling them to do this or that or the other. The difference here is that they're not famous, and two, as far as we can tell, they're not then turning that into an excuse or a reason to do bad things to other people. Which, in this case, I'm gonna just say, of all the things that are alleged, what did he do? He's the assaults are pretty, by the way, assaults are fairly tame. Would probably be misdemeanor things or something like that. The breaking into somebody's house, I mean, again, relatively minor stuff. The real problem people are going to have is the whole allegations of grooming, because everyone thinks they know what the fuck grooming is nowadays. They just throw that out to apply to anybody that they don't like. But these may be actually somewhat substantial allegations, especially if this whole God complex thing is true. But yes, Lottie, it does. It never sounds good whenever Ezra Miller is a name mentioned in an article. It just isn't. And so WB and DC are they're sort of in a bind here. I think. Can they get out of it though?
The movie just needs to come out as fast as possible. They need to stop delaying this movie. If it looks like trash, just release it. I mean, the more and more you delay this movie, the more and more people are not gonna want to watch
That's
it.
that's the thing, is apparently it's not trash though. Apparently it's quite good.
No, I'm just saying if it looks like trash. I mean, like if the VFX, you got to release this movie as fast as possible. Like, seriously, like literally, this dude is a ticking time bomb. Yeah. Like, DC, get your shit together. Release this movie as fast as possible before he blows up, because he's going to. I'm sorry. There's nothing you could do. There's something's gonna happen.
Yeah.
You release this. I'm serious. This movie needs to be released yesterday. Because I'm serious, man. When is it supposed to come out?
Next year.
Oh shit, that ain't happening.
Next summer, I think.
Yeah, but they better move up this movie.
If anything, I'd say that because Ezra Miller finally realized, like, oh, I might actually be in trouble, not with the law, but with the people that cut my checks. This could be a problem. All right, and they've sort of reined it in, and they're like, they're doing the typical rehab and whatever thing. So at the very least, new things aren't likely to happen.
I don't believe it.
I mean, if they're in a treatment place, at least new things probably won't happen.
We'll see. Like, Marie, I've dealt with people like this. I'm just saying, if DC should pay double whatever Marvel's paying for VFX right now to get this movie out as fast as possible.
Right.
Like what Nvidia's going through right now with AMD, they're paying TSMC triple for 4 nanometer because they have to get this graphic card out there as fast as possible. And that's what DC needs to do. Pay whatever Marvel is offering. You pay VFX artists double, triple it, because this movie needs to get out. I'm sorry. He's a ticking time bomb. Because I'm just being honest. There's a higher than 50% chance, in my opinion, he's going to do something else. Just my opinion.
Yep. I mean, going by past activity, it sucks. But yeah, probably the WB needs to get off their butt, get on with it. They can't wait, but we're gonna see. Maybe it'll blow over, but I doubt it. So either way, I don't know. What do you guys think about that? Y'all get down to the comment section. Let us know what you're thinking, and we'll report back when inevitably more stuff comes out. So that's all the news. That's everything for the show this week. What do you guys think about what we were talking about? What do you think about what we had to say? Get down to the comment section. Let us know your thoughts. Of course, you can always hit us up, supernotfunnyshow@gmail.com, or at supernotfunnys1 on Twitter. And rate my rant. Get down there and give me out of 10. Was it? How good was that rant about WB Discovery? I want to know. Also, you guys know you can get down there, hit that like button. Like this video, helps out with the algorithm. Hit that subscribe button, join the Super Not Funny Show family. We really appreciate that. Grow this channel, and hit the notification bell. It'll let you know when we drop new content on the channel, and we're always doing reviews and, of course, this podcast. And of course, I always have a good time on this podcast talking to my good friend Lottie. So, Lottie, let them know where they can hit you up on social media.
You can always find me on my Instagram, which is Anukinihun. It's ANUKINIHUN. Again, it's ANUKINIHUN. And of course, my YouTube channel, Kinihun25. I've
Yep.
been uploading again on my Instagram. I just released recently had a video that got over 3,000 views, which is crazy, but wish I can get those same views on YouTube. But hey, whenever you have a chance,
Only old people
follow
use
me.
YouTube.
You can follow me on there. Leave a like, a comment, or subscription.
Yep. You guys go check it out. Show Lottie some love, y'all. All right, all you Fabricans and Fleshbags, thanks for joining us on this episode 69. 60. I'm sure there's a good joke related to that. I'm not gonna make it because I'm too classy for that. But episode 69, come back next week for episode 70. It'll be a good time. Until then, I've been Mo Pape, your resident fabricant and comic extraordinaire on all things pop culture, joined by the anime expert, video game designer, and lover of all things superhero, my good friend Lottie. And we'll see you guys on the other side of the thread. Peace.
Peace.